Welcome to the Average Apologist Podcast.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Marshall.
Good evening.
Good evening to me or to the people?
The people listening in the
Good day.
Good day.
Good afternoon. Good
Good day, mate.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's different from good day. It's good day.
Good day.
Yeah.
Well, it's not good morning, it's good morning. It's all one word. Morning. And then it's apostrophe N. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
You know, morning.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that's all. It's properly
morning.
said.
You got to say it with your, can't.
You look angry when you say that.
Good morning.
But you always look angry. So if anyone knows you, like you're one of the most angry people I know.
Yeah.
100% of the time. Yeah.
I'm so mad right now.
Yeah. Green with jealous rage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome to our podcast. I'm excited not to be running solo again today. This time, Marshall's going to do all the talking. It's all his notes too, so it makes it even better. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll let you open it up,
look,
Marshall.
I'm not as prepared this week.
That's all
you
right.
guys.
It's been crazy. Life's crazy.
Life is crazy.
He's getting depressed. All right, let's bring it back. Yeah, so just kidding. It's been a busy week, busy month.
I'm your co-host today, dude.
No, dude,
Yeah,
we're co-equals, dude.
No,
we're egalitarian about our co-hosting. Okay, there is no,
and that is it.
We submit and nothing else.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our roles are interchangeable
on the podcast,
and that is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure. You're more of a Tumnus like character. Anyways, I'm more of a Nephilim like character. I'm more of a Shrek. I'm not a Shrek, am I? What am I? Who am I? You're definitely Tumnus.
I'm gonna think about this.
If we're going Narnia,
if I'm Tumnus in Narnia,
who's me?
You're the beaver.
To your what? I'm not the beaver, dude.
Trust me, you're the beaver.
No, I'm not the beaver.
I'm just saying that to get under your skin. Fur.
Under my fur, yeah. There you go. Okay.
Anywho.
All right. All bantering aside, we wanted to do a part 2 because obviously we didn't get through all of our notes, but after talking to some brothers, I think that we need to continue to unpack a couple things that we brought up last time and make some further clarification where we kind of made big generalizations, which is what we're going to continue to do in this episode. I'm kidding. But I will say, if you listen to our last one, coming into this one, it's going to be hard to not make assumptions or generalizations. You just kind of have to do that, even with our own camp. Like, we're going to do that, and people are going to do that to us. Like, we're not here to clarify all the main distinctions. We're here to mention a couple distinctions, but to give a general, broad understanding for something. So keep that in mind as we continue to talk about it. If we're talking about amillennialism or postmillennialism, because you don't know what position we have, in a way that is, that you feel is not a fair representation, you're welcome to let us know, but also just keep in mind, it's probably a fair representation somewhere. Like, it probably is a fair representation. It might just not be your brand of amil or post-mill.
Sure.
Because there's variation, and we're not going to get through all
flavor.
There's a lot of seasonings you can put in this stew, right?
Yeah.
And what we're not going to do is go through all the seasonings.
Right.
We're going to mention the main ones. We got salt, we got pepper. And
paprika.
For white people, that's it. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm a big 4-6's. There's the smokehouse season.
Wow.
Dude, I'll put that in my cereal, bro. That's great. I want my cereal to taste like meat. In fact, if they could make, if anyone can make a meat, like a meat cereal,
just brisket and cereal,
but like in a way that's cereal.
Yeah.
You got yourself a buyer at least once a month right here.
It's disgusting.
No, dude, it's not disgusting.
Wow.
You
brisket.
Eat it. It has not just chunks of brisket and milk, dude. I'm saying, like, if you could find a way to turn it, because you can do like chips, right?
Yeah, it's like free. It's like
carnivore chips,
astronaut food. It's like you turn it. Yeah, it's like,
dude, astronauts aren't real, dude.
Some brisket. That's also true.
No one's been to space.
That's also true. No,
the moon's not real.
No,
I'm just seeing what else you're gonna say. That's also true too.
My stepdad is gonna pull off his get his gloves on, get ready to brawl.
He's gonna say, "Hold my beer."
He's
Hold my beer.
Hold my beer. Gloves are coming on.
Yeah. On,
Off or on?
When you fight,
I'm gonna ask
in a real
him.
street fight, you put them on, but most people take them off.
I put on Hulk gloves.
Yeah, the Hulk smash,
Yeah.
like kid gloves.
Yeah.
But it does work because they're like, this guy's crazy.
Yeah, they just usually.
Or
run
he's
away.
like, dude, he punches so hard, he has to soften his punch for me. I'm not gonna fight this guy, dude. You know what I mean? You're fighting this guy, dude. He puts on the Hulk gloves.
Yeah.
Either you have an incredible advantage, or you are
green with jealous rage.
Well, he's green with jealous rage, but I'm saying, or you're so disadvantaged that you should just leave.
Yeah.
Like he's doing you a mercy, and you're still gonna lose. And then if you lose to a guy wearing Hulk smash gloves, dude, because sometimes they make sounds when you hit them.
Yeah.
And you hear this every hit, you hear the sound.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm gonna try not to enjoy this because it's my childhood right here, getting punched with some Hulk smash gloves. But this is serious now.
It's like life or death, and the guy's punching you.
Well,
He's like, Hulk smash.
Yeah, you're like, what is happening right now?
It's clobbering time. Oh, wrong guy. Sorry.
Well, it's like, have you seen those guys who there's an altercation about to happen, and then he like pantses the guy?
What?
You've never seen this happen?
No.
There's this viral video of this guy on a subway train. I think it's in London or something. And this bigger guy is like intimidating him. He's like this punk guy kind of thing. And he just stands up, dude. In a panic, he just pantses the other guy.
No.
And then they just
de-escalates.
Just done. Never went further from that. He just kind of like looks at him, pulls his pants up, and walks away. You're just like, dude, that's the move.
Wow.
And if you can't pull his pants down, you pull your own pants down.
There you go.
And you get the same effect.
Well, then he might think you're gay. And then,
That gets the same effect. That's what I'm
so
saying.
he might walk away.
Or it gets worse.
Or it gets worse. I don't
And
know. It
he's
depends on
gay.
where you're at.
Yeah, and you don't want that. You're like, now it's a mixed message, and you don't want to send the wrong message either. So sorry, guys.
He took it to a different level.
Yeah, it's like
dude.
people listening at 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, you're not ready for this. But
I just wanted to know the difference between amillennialism and postmillennialism.
I'm trying to explain the difference right now. Okay, there's 2 types of people. Okay, no, I'm kidding. Okay, so let's get into business time.
Okay.
It's business time. Okay, don't look up that song. So I think right off the bat, we're gonna get into. Wow, my notes duplicated. That's all right. With amillennialism and postmillennialism, you have some continuing the clarifying distinctions between the two, and not just the distinctions, but just some kind of nuances that's important to bring those up. First would be, and we mentioned this quite often in our last episode, but we never really dealt with it as a single point, but that the amillennial framework is not necessarily optimistic. Mm-hmm. And I wrote it that way on purpose. It's not necessarily. Postmillennialism is necessarily optimistic. Think Habakkuk 2:14 that says, the glory of the Lord will cover the earth as the waters, something along the lines of that.
For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the Lord.
As the waters.
Knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
How wet is the sea?
Yeah, that's the point there, is that the knowledge of the Lord will cover the earth.
Yeah.
So that comes to something called like the post-millennial hope.
Right.
And this is why there's an inherent optimism, is it sees the like we mentioned in the last episode, the mission of God is not merely the salvation of sinners, because creation came before people.
Yeah.
Right? People were part of creation. The plan of creation and beauty and glorifying of the Lord came into existence prior to humans did. So humans are part of that mission. We're not the mission ourselves. Yes, we are a pursuit, a very personal, gracious pursuit from God, but we are not the mission itself. And so I think when we conflate ourselves with the mission, we can reduce the mission of God. We don't have to look beyond the salvation of the sinner. And so, yes, the cross was about salvation, but also the cross was not merely about salvation, because what is Christ in heaven now? He's the God-man who redeemed fallen man and will come again to fulfill and redeem and restore and consummate all of the curse, as far as the curse is seen, right?
Right. If it was just about that, it could all be done now or then. It could have all been done, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there's clearly
Or there's nothing left to do.
right, and this is where full preterists, are
Ironically
are
enough, I was
host.
going the Amil route, but then the full preterism thing came in.
Well, yeah,
Which we'll get there.
yeah. But just if our individualistic, the salvation of individuals
Yes.
was the only goal,
Yeah.
right? Then really everything could have just been dealt with and done away with
Right.
after Christ resurrected.
Right.
In theory, right?
Yeah.
But there is something going on where Christ, time continues on, and there is something happening to not only individual souls, but the earth, right?
Yeah. Because the ground was cursed.
Right.
Because of Adam.
Yep.
So as far as the curse is seen, is not merely the human soul. As far as the curse is seen, is now part of creation. And so when the restoration, when the new heavens and new earth is fully consummated, it's fully redeemed, fully restored, fully fulfilled, it is not merely the human soul in view there. There's more matter involved.
Right.
So I mentioned if you could tell me what the difference between optimistic Amil and post-mill are, then I'll give you $100.
Yeah.
Which I kind of gave my own.
Cameron actually filed for bankruptcy this last week.
I filed. I'm in massive debt, people. No, there are some distinctions for sure, but I think I was the one to point them out. So I just paid myself $100 each time.
Okay.
And I can show you the transactions if you don't believe me. So the main difference I would say is that, but I have questions. Because the main difference is that the postmillennial view, there is that period of Christianization of the world, right?
Right.
Prior to the return of Christ.
Right.
Amillennialism doesn't have that necessarily. It might have we're gonna have a lot of Christians.
Right.
Okay.
Well, are you saying that all millennials believe that Christ can return any moment?
You're skipping ahead, bro.
Oh, sorry. Well, is that what you were getting at? Or
Imminency?
yeah.
No.
Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
Well, we can get there, dude.
No, brother.
No. You just should have read the notes. No, it's all good, dude. We'll get there. We can throw that in with this. So yes, imminency is a part of it. Amillennial allows for imminency.
But what were you getting at?
I was getting at that because it does affect imminency, but the view of how history will go is that there's going to be a period of Christianization of the world wholesale prior to Christ's return.
Right.
He's going to come back to a Christianized world.
Right.
That's the postmillennial vision, the postmillennial hope.
Yeah.
Amillennial doesn't have to accept that because of the wheat and the tares.
Sure.
So you have, and that's a key distinction. Yeah. And there's different spins on that. There's different perspectives. Some people would say the wheat and the tares, first of all, go to Matthew 13. You can read about it. It says that, farmer went out to sow, that he was sowing seed, right? He had wheat, and then his enemy came and sowed tares or weeds into his wheat. And, he's like, should I remove them? You'll harm the wheat. So wait till the end of the age, harvest them both together, separate, gather into a barn, the other burn up with unquenchable fire. So this is the idea that when Christ returns, there'll be wheat and tares in the same field. And so Amil would say, you could call it a wheat field. That's the postmillennial response. It's like, but it's a wheat field. It's not a tare field.
Right.
So the degree to which there's wheat and tare, like that ratio, that's going to be a difference of opinion between Amil and Amil and postmill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you're going to have Amils disagree with optimistic Amil. And I don't want to say pessimistic Amil because it's just Amil, right?
Sure.
you can be more pessimistic or more optimistic. But when you get more optimistic, you're kind of hugging postmillennialism.
Yeah.
You're hugging postmillennialism and allowing for imminency is what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think like, should it be called postmill? Yes. It should all be called postmill.
Yeah.
Then we should have different distinctions. Because oftentimes when you're talking to two guys, if it's amillennial or postmillennial, you don't care about the distinctions. What you care about is the political alignment. Because I'm getting way ahead.
No, just go, dude.
Because typically the post-millennial camp is going to be more Christian nationalism. It's going to see politics different. It's going to think that, theonomy, like our laws should be based on biblical law versus like a pragmatic view. So when most people say they reject post-millennialism, they're rejecting a cultural movement, a cultural, most of the time. I've found like that's what they're rejecting. They're like, oh yeah, we're not with, the Durbins and the Wilsons and the Gentrys. Like we reject all that.
Yeah.
It's not for actually how they're interpreting scripture. However, I will say that the literalism found within postmillennialism is higher. Like there's a stronger literalism in biblical hermeneutics. So you're reading Revelation, you're going to look, hey, this is actually 3.5 years.
Right.
Or 42 months. Or
Right.
1,290 days. Right. This is all the same amount.
Yeah.
But this was actually that long. And we'll find it in history. We'll actually like put that in a literal box. And then we'll get a little loose where we want, which we have to do. Like it's just how scripture is written. The Amil guys is going to be idealistic even in their hermeneutics. Because they're going to say, not just with like how Revelation looks. I'm getting ahead of myself. But
That's all right, dude.
the way they're going to approach scripture is not to put it in that literal box. And it's ironic because most of the time, post-mill slams pre-mill and dispensational pre-mill. A-mill slams post-mill. Dude, I joined both chats on Facebook. There's groups, an A-mill and a post-mill. And dude, it's crazy in there. Like if you're
It sounds like a invite only bar, like a club.
I don't go to those kind of bars. The rainbow ones?
No.
I know what kind of bars you like, Marshall.
No. Well,
I know what kind of drinks you like.
Look, it's Noahic, okay?
It's a Noahic bar. We stand on the promises.
Yeah. Hey, I'm all for that. I'm post-mill, so I'm for that.
You can't say you're post-mill. You just gave your position away. People
couldn't
didn't
bleep-
know
I-
until now.
I thought you were gonna bleep me out, dude.
Dude, I can't. Wait, what are you?
I'm.
I'm not good with the buttons yet. I'll just be on that page. Just
We
in
need to
case.
see if anyone wants.
We're not going to commit that kind of crime, Marshall. Okay. If someone wants to be a button guy,
Yeah, we need a button guy.
yeah, we do.
Anyways.
So, what I'm getting at here
Yeah.
is what was I getting at?
How post mills kind of roast on dispensational.
Good, just making sure you're listening.
And then
So,
Nice,
no,
nice,
I'm
nice.
kidding. I actually forgot. So, yeah, if you're in the group, like you're in the Amil group, man, they think post-millennialism is a cancer.
Yeah.
And it's not primarily because of the word post-millennialism. It's more because of preterism as a hermeneutic. They see it as flawed.
Which is so interesting to me because from my understanding, they are also partial preterists.
See, a lot wouldn't be. A lot would be idealists. So even when they're reading the Olivet Discourse, they're going to say this has nothing to do with the temple being destroyed.
That's crazy to me.
It just mentions that it will. Sure. The rest of it, none of it's about that. It's just that persecutions will continue until he comes again.
Yeah,
That they're going to take it. And this is like, Sam Frost does this. And I really respect Sam Frost.
yeah.
But I struggle, man, because I see some disagreements. I have some disagreements with him on this particular case. But yeah, he's very anti-preterism of any kind.
Yeah.
And in his mind, I get it. He was a full preterist.
He was a full preterist.
So, and if someone doesn't know, a full preterist is someone who believes the entire Bible is fulfilled.
all
The
of it.
second coming, the consummation, doing away with sin, all enemies under his feet, all of that,
Resurrection.
the resurrection of the dead, they believe all of that is fulfilled. And it's all this Gnostic spiritual meaning to where it's not real, it's not an actual thing, or it's something that's only real in the heavens, not on earth. So like the resurrection would be ascending to heaven and getting your new body. And that would be the resurrection of the dead, getting your new body instead of this seed that was sown rising up, right? Incorruptibility, raising up incorruptible. That's the biblical imagery there. So I respect him on his exegesis of the resurrection. I think he nails it. Like he does good. And that's really what, that and the last day are the things that brought him out of full preterism, which I'm thankful. But I get why he's cautious, because he sees like, yeah, you can, what's to stop you? What stopped me? Nothing did. What's to stop you? Probably nothing either. Let's just do away with it. And I get that. I think we need guys to guard the gate.
Sure.
And to, sometimes you got to pop off a couple rounds at the end of the gate just to make sure you're approaching it.
Yeah.
Not at them, but just in the sky.
Yeah. That would be another good episode. What stops someone from going full preterist?
Yes. I want to talk about full preterism.
Yeah.
And I'd like to maybe invite him on and talk about this or something.
That'd be cool.
Because I think it's even if you, land in a different camp, it's very important to have that conversation, or, future guys we're going to have on, maybe we'll see.
Sure.
Talk about full preterism. So yeah, anyway, this whole thing was about the optimism in the vision of the Christianization of the world. That is something that is going to have some strong disagreement. They're going to say the world's not going to be Christianized. Jesus said, when the Son of Man returns, will I find faith on the earth? Those kind of things. You have to deal with all those texts. You also have to deal with a lot of the Old Testament promises. And the Amillennial is going to push back and say, yeah, we have to deal with the application of the Old Testament promises. Look at the verses of the Messiah coming. Was he a war hero that came and dominated? No, he was a humble servant that came and was killed.
Right.
He rose to victory, Christus victor. Yes, and he will have victory. But the way we apply Old Testament promises is the hermeneutic, the apostolic interpretation given to us through the apostles in the New Testament is not always a one-to-one. They understood what it actually meant. It doesn't matter what it says as much as what it means by what it says.
What?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
It sounded funny.
Sure. Anything to say on that, Marshall?
No, well, I brought up the imminence because earlier.
Yeah, let's just deal with that.
In my mind, I could be totally off my rocker right now, but the fact that an amillennial, like if you were to ask me, shoot,
I know.
I already put myself out there. I'm post-mill.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else.
I'm post-mill.
Wait, say it again.
I'm post-mill.
Okay.
But that's so funny, dude. I'll never get over the bleep.
It's the best.
But so yes, I am post-mill. Okay. But I realistically, because of what I see in scripture from a post-millennial view, I don't believe necessarily in an imminence of Christ's return.
So he couldn't come back tomorrow.
He could. That's a different question.
But then the world wouldn't be Christianized.
Define Christianized.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So
well, you define it.
Right.
What would you say it is?
Well, I would say kind of like what Habakkuk just said, right? It says, it says, for the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Okay. That says the earth will be filled with the knowledge, right? Yeah. That doesn't say they're all going to be saved, right?
So is it?
What?
Is it filled with the knowledge?
No, I don't think it is.
Could he return prior to that?
No, I don't think so.
He couldn't come tomorrow.
I don't know.
This is the pushback from Amil. This is why I'm entertaining this argument, because I'm just curious.
I love it because I think it's like, okay, I think I'm a cessationist. Cessationist? Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Cessationist. I think I am. I'm working on this. All right.
Yeah.
All the reform guys are like, what? You know. But.
Oh, that you might not be.
Right. So, if the question is, can someone, have the gift of healing? Can God give someone the gift of
the sign
healing?
gifts?
Right?
Yeah.
Can God do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sure.
Everyone says yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Does he?
Right.
That's the question.
You're saying it's a similar logic.
I would say so, yeah. So could God, according to Scripture...
But here's the thing. Here's your issue. Could Judas have not
No.
betrayed Jesus?
No.
Why?
Well, because I'm a Calvinist.
But that's not just why. Even if you're not a Calvinist, why?
Because it had to happen, and God.
Why did it have to happen?
How
do you know that?
The Old Testament Scriptures prophesied.
There you go. Okay, so God's word says, therefore, there was no other option.
Correct.
Are we doing the same with Habakkuk?
Yeah, I think we ought to.
So can he return prior to
again,
that?
I would say no.
Okay, so he can't return.
I would say no.
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
If you're really pressing,
no, I'm
I
just
would say
curious.
no.
Well, and this is, I'm not trying to press
This
you.
is why I'm post-mill.
I'm trying to bring this up because this is where the Amil opposition is going to go.
Right.
And they're going to say that is outside of the historic view that Christ could return. The readiness. How do you remain ready? It does change the way you deal with things, the way that you operate, institutions. It'll change the way you live as a Christian.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the, you see a lot of Amil guys talking about like Paul's, Paul clearly in his writing had a sense of like imminency, right, of Christ's return. I believe, I could be totally wrong. I'm like really chill on this now.
Yeah.
But like, I'm pretty sure that a lot of those references are in reference to 70 AD, personally.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, he was referring to a different coming.
A different coming, which we're going to get into actually, I think, very soon. I don't know.
How soon?
We'll see. So
Define soon.
Nice. Next point. The reign begins with the ascension. This is a uniquely Amil position or necessity. Okay. Postmillennialism, you have some variation.
Right.
It could begin at the ascension or 70 AD.
Yeah.
But you really don't have any Amils holding that the reign of Christ began at 70 AD.
I think it was the ascension.
Me
personally.
too. It's an Amil interpretation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome. He's back. No, just kidding. Yeah. I mean, I think this is where I think we should do away with the Amil post-mill distinction, because there's a sharing of a lot of things. That's an Amil thing.
Sure. Yeah. Like, yeah.
The ascension.
I would say are you an optimistic Amil or are you not? Those are more, right?
I think you should say, are you post-mill or pessimistic post-mill?
Oh.
Maybe. They have some sort of distinction like that, to where it's one, because Amil is post-mill. It is a post-mill view. Post-mill just means at the end of the millennium. That's when he returns. Mm-hmm. So both are post-millennial. We're not defining post-millennialism right.
Right.
Maybe Amil's fine, because Amil says, yeah, I'm post-mill, but the millennium's not literal.
Right.
I'm like, cool. I say that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
What do we do now?
Right.
So I think maybe we need to do some work here.
I think it's a matter of like, are you a Christian nationalist or not?
That's what I'm saying.
Truthfully.
I know. That's why
I think that actually is what it is.
That's exactly right. That's why I said, like, most of the time, the reason they'll say they're not post-mill is because of political allegiance.
Right.
They're going to say, yeah, the way we think politics should take structure in the world is different.
Right.
Yeah, Christian nationalism, that's big bad no-no. You know what I'm saying? Me no likey. That's what they say.
Me likey.
They talk like that too. They say me no likey that.
I just pictured Keith Foskey saying that.
Right. Keith would right. too. Keith Foskey, if you're listening, say it now. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, next one. We've kind of teased this out already in what we're dealing with the preterism, with the timing. All this would be Amillennialism has mostly an idealistic inter-advental application of the last days. Again, I duplicated all my notes. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. Is it duplicated on your side?
That's all right, dude.
Are you fixing it as we go?
I'm not fixing it. I'm not fixing your notes. That's so rude.
How rude. And let me break that down. So, and I say mostly because it's not all, like R.C. Sproul, he wrote Last Days According to Jesus. the book, and it was a preteristic interpretation of the last days, the term the last days. Because there's a lot of scriptures that refer to the last days. Think like 1 John, when he says, I believe it's in chapter 2, he says, little children, I write to you, that it is the last hour, and we know it is the last hour because many antichrists have come. Mm-hmm. And so he's tying the timing, the season, right? The indication that they're nearing the end of something to the signs that they're seeing. One of those signs is the Gnostics, the false Christs, the antichrists, right? Mm-hmm. And as Jesus said, false Christs will rise and seek to deceive many. So John was connecting the times to the Olivet Discourse. Now, if last days means one thing, and it just means right before the second coming, then you have to do like a more idealistic interpretation. And that's what they do. They would say last days refers to first advent to second advent, that period. And it's not about time as much as it is about like a dispensation or an allotment or an age. You know, they say the last days. It more has to do with Hebrews 1 through 2 that says, in past times, God has spoken through the prophets and the fathers, but in these last days, he has spoken by his son. Mm-hmm. So that distinction of the two-age model, which we're also teasing out to get ahead. Mm-hmm. The postmillennial framework is going to be mostly preteristic and historicist in the application of the last days. This would look like, as we teased out already, the last days would be the days leading up to the destruction of the temple, the last days of the Jewish age, the last days of the current old creation, however you're going to put it. You know, there's lots of variation, but the last days there not referring necessarily to the actual last days of time. Mm-hmm. Thoughts?
No.
Cool. All right. So this is a good thing to work out. If you're post-mill talking to an on-mill, if you're on-mill talking to a post-mill, you're going to be using the same language, but you're going to be talking past each other because the way you're applying last days here is going to be different. And so they would say like, yeah, there's going to be persecution. Why? Because it says in the last days, there's persecution. Last days is all the way up until the return of Christ. Therefore, persecution will continue. Mm-hmm. It affects optimism as well.
Sure.
It does affect the trajectory of history. So this is the next one. This is fun. Amillennialism is historically rich in the Reformed tradition. So we or they have that, you know,
yeah.
We/they. Those aren't my pronouns.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you know.
You got, if you go to Cameron's Instagram account, in his bio, you'll see his pronouns. We Wumbo.
Yeah.
Those are his pronouns.
He, she, Wumbo.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so historically rich in the Reformed tradition, postmillennialism, historically rich with the Puritan tradition. So here's where, you know, the Amill's going to start to throw food at the post-mill because, you're just, you know, hopping in here and doing something new. Well, you could go, hey, well, at least we have kind of the consensus of the Puritans. Mm-hmm. And the Puritans were, you know, really about the purity of the church. And yeah, they had a different spin on it. Sure. I don't know if it was wholesale, but there was a different spin. But it was still there, you know? And I think there's a lot of respect in the Reform camp for the Puritans across the board. Like you're not gonna slam the Puritans. Mm-hmm. You respect them.
Yeah. Have you seen that? I don't know, documentary, Puritan.
Oh, on Canon?
Yeah. It's really good.
Is it?
Yeah. If you don't know about the Puritans, look up the documentary. It's a weird word.
Documentarium. Yeah.
But yeah, it's great.
Cool.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'll have to watch. I think it's on my watch list.
It's pretty long, but
maybe I won't.
just like their prayers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Because it makes you more spiritual the longer you pray.
Yes.
Jesus said that, Matthew 6.
Wow. Whoa.
He said exactly the opposite.
Wow.
You're not heard by your many repetitions. So you have some Reformed history on both sides, but I would say the bulk of the weight of history is on the amillennial side. And remember, amillennial is a version of postmillennial. The Puritans took that golden era, that the Christianization as a more tangible, literal 1,000 years even. Mm-hmm. I think many of them did. Like, hey, we're going to kind of, the Spirit is going to work in the world in such a way that we're going to see a global, general Christianizing, and then the millennial reign will begin. And that will be a time, an era of peace and domination for the gospel. Then Christ will return, all that. Mm-hmm. I don't take that view personally. I take the Amil interpretation of the millennial. That millennial is from Advent to Advent.
Yeah.
That reign is from, when Jesus rose from the dead and said, all authority in heaven and earth has been given to me. Therefore, go preach the gospel to all the nations. That's the reign happened when he ascended. Right. Or what is it? John 12:46 or something. In the 40s, John 12. He says, now is the time of judgment. Now the ruler of this world will be cast out. Referring to the devil.
Yeah.
So some issues you can run into. Amillennialism, you could be vulnerable to some Gnostic behaviors. Please don't throw a stone at me for saying that. I think you can. I think you can get too ethereal in the application, or too allegorical, like
in
this.
The idealistic kind of camp.
Yep.
Which this camp?
Someone's camp. I don't know if it's yours or mine.
No. I'm just saying, like, the all-mill camp is, like you were saying, with the idealistic interpretation of things like the Olivet Discourse or Revelation.
Yes. Revelation's a good example.
It does. It's a lot of people are going to say it's too, exactly like you said, very ethereal, very kind of, it's interesting.
It's like God communicates in ideals.
Right.
Yeah. So think about it like this. So Revelation, one of the dominant views currently in the Reformed Amil camp, or a rising view, is the recapitulation view, the idealistic recapitulation.
Is that the wheel of life?
It's essentially saying that the book of Revelation tells the same story
over
like 5 to 7 times.
Yeah.
And I will be honest with you, it does to a degree.
Interesting.
But is that the primary hermeneutic? That's the argument here. When you read
around Scripture.
Yeah. Well, when you're reading just Revelation
Okay.
to deal with, just isolate it, right? Yes. Well, that's a good point. I see why you're saying that.
Yeah.
Do we do that with all of Scripture?
Right.
Do we do that with all prophetic literature or apocalyptic?
Right.
When I get, like, there is a level to which we will have an idealistic interpretation. Mm-hmm. Like timing indicators is a big one. You get to the end of Revelation, like I've brought this up to you. It says, behold, I am coming quickly. Mm-hmm. What does that mean?
Right. Quickly.
It does?
It means quickly.
The end of Revelation?
Yeah, it means quickly.
So did he come quickly?
Define quickly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So we're going to be very firm in the beginning of the book,
Right.
They who pierced me will see me, right? In the first chapter, referring to the Jews who pierced him.
Right.
Behold, he's coming on the cloud. Every eye will see me, even they whom pierced me, right? Pierced him. So that's there. The soon elements, the near demonstratives of the language. But coming to the end, that's when we get a little less passionate about that.
Yeah,
soon.
we're a little more like, and the reason for that,
maybe it's not soon,
which I see in your notes, is because in the postmillennial camp, they're more susceptible to heresy, right?
And they are, and that's objective,
right? And so that's where you get full preterism, right?
Yes.
Towards the end.
Yeah, because here's the thing, and it can be a slippery slope, because you define the age different, you define last times different. What else are you going to define differently?
Yeah.
New heavens and new earth. start to define that differently. We're in it now, fully
Yeah,
in
the
it now.
resurrection.
Resurrection, define that differently. Cool, now all of it's changed, and now it's a different religion. And that's
True.
which is funny because that's actually Gnosticism. So the Gnostic tendencies can be on both sides.
Sure.
I think in the idealistic world, it's not heretical. It's not dangerous. It's just out of reach. It's just, it's you know, I shouldn't have said Gnostic. Let me take that back.
Wow.
Mystical. It's mystical. It's like it's kind of the same way like an Eastern Orthodox would interpret Revelation.
Right.
It's saying something completely different than what you are reading, and it means nothing tangible for the church. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, because if you have, let's say you have Revelation, you have 7 stories telling the same thing. What does it say? That Christ came, and that he overcame the devil in a way, and there's hard times and persecution, but we overcome by the blood of the Lamb, the word of our testimony, and we love not our own lives unto the death. And then Christ comes and does the final victory, and then there's peace forever with God. That's the narrative. We already knew that.
Sure.
So like going into the book, do we need to read the book if that's what it says?
Right.
Like we already know. It also means there's nothing actual tangible in the story that has to do with anything happening on the earth that we can look to and go, this actually touched. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it does get a little bit mystical.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say the Gnostics were a bit mystical too, though.
They were.
Right?
Yeah, they were. There's different
They're
flavors
like-
of Gnosticism.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. They're the same cloth, you know?
Cut from the same cloth. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Try and turn that again. I love seeing that. It's hilarious. It's not a screw.
Is that how it-
yeah. It won't tighten. Okay, so imminency we already hit. Let's get into some stickiness. This is the fun. This is the weeds, the thick of it. Yeah, we could do this. We could do it. So, amillennialism can I won't even say tends, can lean towards R2K, which is radical two kingdom theology.
Not R2D2.
Not R2D2. Radical, not classical two kingdom.
Radical two dominion kingdoms. I was trying to make R2D2 work. Oh, that's not. Oh my goodness.
It's all right, dude.
Sorry, guys.
What starts with 2?
I'm a little slow.
Well, you're like, what starts with the letter 2, man? I can't figure it out.
Yeah. What word starts with 2? Tooth fairy. Did it.
You could have just said tooth.
Yeah,
You
but
made that
I'm a little
the
more
fairy.
mystical. Feeling a little mystical today.
So R2K, this is a newer theology that really became popular in Westminster, California, in Escondido, with David Van Drunen, R. Scott Clark, Michael Horton, those guys. And I personally reject radical two kingdom theology. I don't think it's biblical. I don't think it's the Reformed view either, from what I understand about the Reformed view. It's the idea that if you're looking at the moral law, you have the first table, which is commandments 1 through 4, which are have to deal with personal worship to God and know God's before Him, keep the Sabbath holy, don't take His name in vain, no images, right? I did it in 1-4 or 1-3-4-2, but 1 through 4. And then the second table would be 5 through 10, and that would be the civil sphere. So it's a view of church and state. And essentially what it says is that the church, God governs the first table in the church, and the state governs the second table in the world. And those two do not intersect.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, if the state is tyrannical, that's what it is. God deals with the church, with the first table of the moral law. He doesn't touch the second table over there. Yes, he reigns sovereignly. I'm not going to misrepresent, but he's not reigning over them like he's reigning over us. And if you say it like that, sure, I agree. There's two kingdoms, because I'm in a direct monarchy under God's leadership in the spiritual kingdom. In the physical kingdom, I have governors, I have officials, I have a president. There's many people over me, but he reigns over them both. And that's what I would say. And he does control them both.
Right.
So I would say it is, and you could get into, is it two kingdoms? Is it one kingdom? Is it sphere sovereignty? There's a lot of different views of how that plays out, which I'd love to nerd out about sometime. But the idea of amillennialism, the history there, you can end up leaning towards R2K.
Yeah.
In the post-mill side, you can tend to lean towards theonomy, Christian nationalism, or the social gospel. Marshall loves the social gospel. So by 2020, you were thrilled.
Yeah.
Like, it's happening. Oh, everything you wanted to see to affect change was happening, right? So,
right.
Yeah. So, yeah, theonomy, we can get into that. It's really just that the civil Mosaic law would be applicable today, that we're going to bind the nations to the general equity of the civil law. That's the big boy view, big zoomed out view of theonomy.
Yeah.
Christian nationalism. Yeah, I think it tends to lean that way. But I think a lot of Amils are actually Christian nationalists too.
Really? No.
Vodi Bakum.
Okay, but Vodi...
I know, I chose one dead guy.
Yeah, Vodi's also...
He was the GOAT.
Yeah.
Dude. He was the best.
So, of course, he was a Christian nationalist.
I know.
Not that I'm being biased.
Not the same way post-mill does.
Sure.
I think there's even a pre-mill Christian nationalism.
I think here's the thing. I think there's a desire here's the thing. If you're a Christian, everyone votes in the way that a Christian nationalist would vote as a Christian, a true Christian, right?
What do you mean?
So if there is let's say there's a bill to, someone's running for the president and you have a Christian who's going to uphold Christian values, we'll say values, okay? Or you have some tranny running for president for some reason, because that'll happen one day, I'm sure. Who are you going to vote for?
The tranny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, and I didn't even bring up any, policies or anything, but just merely based off of that, are you going to vote for the one who is the Christian, the professing Christian, or the confused person?
I think it depends on who you ask, man.
Really?
Well, and the reason I would say is
within Christian, the church.
Yes. I think, yes.
Okay.
Because here's the thing, you have two layers to that. The first layer is a lot of third way guys are going to say, well, what bills are they trying to bring in? Because if the tranny's bringing all the good bills,
okay,
and the Christians bringing all the bad bills, we're going to go for the tranny. That's what the third way is going to say.
Okay, but is that going to happen?
That's how they're going to make everyone liberal.
That's
right?
not going to happen, though.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying that's what they're going to say.
Sure.
The second layer to that is if the Christian, in his upholding of Christian values, doesn't uphold them in the way certain, let's say abolitionism. Let's say he's Christian through and through. But he doesn't ban abortion.
Right.
He's not going to get voted for at all. Right. by abolitionists.
Right.
So I think a lot of people just wouldn't vote.
Sure.
Because it gets to, is purity, this is a whole other conversation.
Well, okay, I guess coming from a dispensational background.
Yeah. Okay? You're going to choose the Christian.
You're going to choose a Christian.
I think everyone.
So I guess more
so. Blanket statement, face value.
Statement.
Choose the Christian.
Yeah. So I do think I would say, because you're to your point earlier, I do think even dispensational pre-mill guys are Christian nationalists,
Dude, I agree with you, and I think they're some of the most radical ones too.
Right, I agree. And they're doing a lot, there was I can't remember what exactly they were trying to pass, but they're trying to teach some sort of LGBTQ plus agenda at one of the public schools in Caldwell recently in the last 2-3 years, and the church that showed up was Calvary Chapel Star. That was the church that showed up in the droves.
I love it.
It wasn't the post-mill churches out here, which is so interesting. So that the thing that I've kind of noticed
Yeah.
is those who are Christian nationalists in the Reform camp, who are post-mill, are usually not. They're doing things specifically in the civil sphere,
Yeah.
but like on a local level, you don't see too many of them out and about.
Yeah.
But you'll see a lot of like the pre-mill dispensational guys doing a lot of that stuff.
The local.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you see like the.
I know that's not, a fair representation of all. I think of Pastor Gabe from Stone Mountain.
Yeah. He's my favorite dispensationalist. Kidding.
Oh man.
Yeah.
No, but he's doing a lot here.
Yeah. I know. And I'm totally joking, by the way. He's not dispensational.
Yeah.
He's gonna slap me for saying that, but I'll receive it, brother.
But he's doing a lot. But I do think like, you have a lot of guys who just kind of like stay inside their circles, their church circles, and because they trust in the sovereignty of God. They're like,
as non-Calvinists,
right? Wait, who?
Dispensational?
No, not dispensational.
Okay,
the post-mill guys.
Yeah.
As Calvinists,
yes,
they're like, I'm just gonna because they're Calvinists.
Yeah,
they're gonna sit back and they're like, God's got this. He doesn't need
you think so?
me. I think so. I think
when we were at the Pride Festival preaching. No, I'm just kidding. When we were there to oppose the Pride Festival, how many Reform guys out of the whole group?
Oh, it's probably 95% Reform guys.
So I think we're out there.
That's true. That's true. I think it's changing. I guess I do see a lot of dispensational guys doing stuff.
Let me ask you this, Marshall. Comparing the Reformed Church versus the dispensational church, how many is working to form to disciple the congregation? Not through Sunday sermons,
right?
But in all ways, to form, to make the culture rich and thriving, to bring fruitfulness.
I would, you know what I'm going to say.
And I think that's more of a Reformed thing.
Yeah.
From what I've observed and what I've experienced in the Reformed circle, you have more of a view of like we want to we're forming, we're reforming, we're discipling to be better fathers, to be heads of our home.
Yeah.
To lead our family faithfully, to provide for them, to protect them.
Yeah.
And it's not just through Sunday sermon. Even in the, we talked about this in the car ride, even the liturgy leading up to the sermon on Sundays, the sermon's part of the Sunday worship. It's not the pinnacle, right?
Right.
There's the liturgy that you're partaking in Sunday worship is formative to conform your family to worship in unity, to have orthodoxy, right? You're confessing creeds. It's forming the congregation. So there's a lot of work and intentionality that goes into that. Yeah. So I could see why, like, if you're not pouring all your chips into that basket, you got more chips to now distribute to outreach. Cool. Everyone professes faith. Everyone's baptized. Everyone loves the message. Let's go out and preach the gospel. If that's what the goal is, or the task, then you're good. Then I think then that's fine. You have a lot of time to do that. So I'm not trying to say that.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I don't mean that dispensational churches don't care about these things, but I think that it's
not the emphasis.
It's not the emphasis, and that like we all have work to do in our own areas.
Yeah,
like you may need to grow in that. We need to grow in something else.
I agree, and again, being the body, different parts, right? Different members.
Yeah.
So
anything else you want to hit, Marshall, on this one? I feel like we have other notes, but
there's so much. I think I would love to do an episode on theonomy and Christian nationalism. I think that would be
kingdom.
Yeah, I think that would be a good one. I think there's a lot because I have questions.
Yeah, you do.
That's the thing. I feel like I'm not qualified to even be on this show.
Brother. Me neither, man. That's why we're average.
So
we put that out there right away.
Yeah.
People know.
People know these guys don't know what they're talking about.
We're just average apologists. Yeah. Exactly. We're not those giants out there. Yeah. We're saying go listen to them. Go read those giants. Go read those dead giants.
Yeah.
Those guys know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds great, man. I think that there's a lot, like we talked about. There's a lot of elements that affect eschatology.
Mm-hmm.
Eschatology sometimes is downstream of other things. Like if you're a strong two kingdom guy. Actually, you can be post-mill and two kingdom. Joe Rigney. You can do it.
Well, I want to have Joe Rigney on.
I'd love to have Joe Rigney on.
I want to talk about his book.
I want to talk about,
The Sin of Empathy.
The Sin of Empathy. Yeah, go read it. That book's amazing. I'll burn through that so fast.
That book is really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, we should get Joe. Go get Joe. I'm going to go grab him real quick out of the back.
I don't know who you're talking about, but we'll talk about this later. Anyway, Marshall, any last words?
No.
Not at all, huh?
Not today.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining. If you made it this far, you're incredible. So have a good week.
The average apologist pulling up a chair, talking reform theology with a Shrek-like flair. They'll press you with the questions, they'll wrestle and contend, but somehow make you laugh before the episode will end.